So very good evening, everyone. I hope you can see my screen now. I was trying to connect with laptop, but I could not. Reason being, it's raining here, and network connectivity is not good, so could not connect with the laptop. So I'm connecting here with the mobile phone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So today we will discuss about how to perform well in an walk-in interview. Okay. First of all, I would like to let you know that what do we mean by walk-in interview. Okay. Walk-in interview means there is a company. Okay, there is any company who do calls all the candidates as per the eligibility criteria on any specific day. So, for example, there is a company who is calling all the candidates for marketing profile on any specific date. So, for example, 31st May. Okay, so company can call all the candidates without screening their candidature. Okay, and they just take, or the company do takes in the interview of everyone whoever is coming to the interview. This is done when the company is not able to find more candidates, or company want not to want to explore the talent in the market openly. At that time they do not filter and do not input any kind of filter, and they just call all the candidates whosoever is eligible and interested. Okay, they just check the criteria of the eligibility as well as the is proficiency or capacity, we can say, at the time of interview only. Okay, so they do not discriminate, or they do call all the candidates at the same time. So just at the in the walk-in interview, so many candidates used to come at the time. Okay, so this is the way how the these interviews just goes. All the candidates whosoever is willing to go for the interview can go. He just need to check out whether he is eligible to go for the interview, whether his skill sets are matching or not. It totally depends upon the candidates. But if someone's skill sets are not matching, his experience is not matching, in that case also he can visit for the walk-in interview. In such a case, what happens if he does something miraculous or miracle? In that case, company would select him. Or if he shows more enthusiasm towards the job opening, in that case, sometimes if your skill sets, or if sometime your experience is not matching as per the job requirement, then also they can select any candidates and can consider their applications. Okay, so this is the way. And generally these kind of interviews are done when a company is hiring in bulk. Okay, generally walk-in interviews are done for the bulk hiring. Okay, so what we should keep in our mind to perform well in a walk-in interview? First of all, this is the thumb rule, that always learn about the company. Always learn about the company. How you can learn about the company? You can go through company's website. You can go through company's social media pages. You can talk to some of the employees who are already working in that particular company. You can talk to your friends. You can go through some of the newses over there, and you can go through some of the company's notifications over there, so that you can come to know about the company. And the major part is you should know about the job description, that what exactly you need to do by, if you are selected, or if you for the profile you are being called for the interview. Okay, so never head to an interview without reading about the company. Go through the company's website of the company to understand its nature of work. Okay, also read the about us. In about us, you can learn about the company, that who are they. Okay, who we are section, to understand the company's background of understand the background of the company. Furthermore, have a look at its social media pages, like I told you. You can also type company name in the search engine and check if there are any recent news or update about it. Okay, you can do it all to know about the company. Next comes common interview questions. You can learn about some common interview questions. We have already discussed these questions in our mock interview session. So, okay, like these some common questions are like first of all, I hope you can see these questions. I'm zooming out. Like first question, there is always tell me something about yourself. Second question would be describe who you are. Of tell me about your background. Okay, what are your strengths and weaknesses? You can tell about it. You have not done your PG yet. This is not a this is not a drawback, but don't you think you should get a PG degree as ASAP? You have changed jobs, jumped ship to many companies already. Why so? Okay, so these are some basic questions that you should be prepared about. Okay, and these questions are frequently asked by the companies. Next comes resume. You should have a quite updated resume. You should have you should have mentioned all of your skill sets there, whatever skill sets you do have, whatever experience you do have in whichever company you have worked in, you can mention there in detail. Okay, so this will help you out. A resume is the most important document in a walk-in interview. Okay, so it is the basis of the conversation between you and the interviewer. What is it? It is the basis of the conversation between you and the interviewer. So because what happens many times, interviewers keep on exploring your resume, or keep on turning back your resume, and he just keep on putting eye on the things what you have mentioned in the resume, and most of the questions are asked by your resumes only. Okay, he can ask you about your previous company, he can ask you about your current role, he can ask you about CTC, he can ask you about what exactly you are doing. He can, if you have mentioned some specific skills over there, then he or she can ask you about your skill sets, how you can help it out, or what are your key skill sets. Okay, so these are some things. Next comes update your resume. What you should do, you should update your resume, proofread it to avoid any spelling or grammatical errors, or and print it out. What you need to do is, you need to update your resume, you need to proofread it to avoid, you need to read it, or you need to check it out once, so that you can find out if there is any spelling or grammatical mistake. And then you need to take print out of it. Always carry multiple hard copies of the resume when you are going for an walk-in interview. Then you should carry more than one or two or three copies of your resume, so that it can help you out in what happens. And sometimes in walk-in interview, they can hire for more than one position. So say for example, if you are rejected in one position, you can appear for another position, and for that you need to go for another interviewer. In that case, what happens, you would be in need of another resume. Okay, so always keep it in your mind while appearing in an interview. Next comes important documents and identity proof. When you're going for an walk-in interview, then it becomes very mandatory that you carry all of your documents, like your sometimes you can carry your all the educational qualification certificates, all the experience certificates, as well as appointment letters of the previous companies. Further to it, what you need to do or to carry most is your identity proof. You should carry on any, or any of the government ID proof, say for example Aadhaar card, PAN card, voter ID card, such kind of identity card you should carry with you. Okay, so that they can have your identity, that this is the right person. And sometimes it is required to do entry on the reception of any company, generally in the walk-in interviews. So it is advisable to carry important educational and professional documents to in walk-in interview. Carry the important documents in a file or a folder. What you should do, you should carry these documents in a file or folder and organize them neatly. Also keep a pen and notepad with you. What you should keep with you, a pen and a notepad. Okay, furthermore, carry ID proof with you, as you might be required to present it while entering the company office. ID proof would be to entering any company's premises, and this also would be required to do your entries and all. Address and the directions. Double check the venue for the walk-in interview. What you should do is, you should double check the walk-in interview address, that where exactly you need to go for the interview. Do not be in rush while identifying, or while noting down the address. Always note down the right address. Okay, and if you plan to take a public transport, learn about the best way to commute. What you should do, you should learn best that you take how you can take the public transport to visit there, and check the timings in advance. You should check all the timings in advance, so that you do not face any kind of problem. On the other hand, if you choose to drive the venue, if you wish to go at your own, then make sure that you check the route and directions before using Google Map. Okay, or beforehand using Google Maps. Look presentable. Your looks matters a lot when you are going for any interview. Then not in any interview, it's not about walk-in interview, it's not about call in scheduled interview, or interview to any call. It's not about that. You should always look good. Okay, it's not like you show off that what you are not, then also you are showing it off. Okay, you should not do like that. So this is one of the most important points to consider when it comes to a walk-in interview. Okay, so look presentable, choose a formal piece of clothing, and make sure the fit is comfortable. The fit is what? Comfortable. Give me a second. Okay. Dress according to the weather. What you should do, you should dress according to the weather. Say, for example, if it's winters, in that case, you should carry, you should wear a sweater, or sometimes you can wear a suit also. But under the suit, you wear sweater also. That gives a good impression. If it's summer, in that case, you should try to use, but sometimes try to avoid also. If it's high summer, in that case you can avoid the suit also, because that would make you uncomfortable while going for an interview. Always try to use tie while going for an interview. Dress according to the weather. So instance, to avoid wearing any for instance, avoid wearing any very dark colors in the summer. Instead, go for pastel or bright shades in the light material. Okay. Keep your hair well combed and neat. Wear comfortable wear. Most importantly, do not forget to wear a smile. What is most important? That is a smile. Someone is on unmute mode. Kindly mute yourself, please. It's creating a problem and it's coming noise from backend. Okay. Be polite and patient while going for an interview. What you should do, you should be quite polite and have patience. While sometimes what happens in a walk-in interview, it would take more than the estimated time. So, for example, you think in your mind that it will not take more than 2 hours, 3 hours, but sometimes it can take your whole day to get the interview process done. Okay. And while appearing in the interview, you should always be quite polite. Okay. But not like that also ki you're showing yourself very tedious, or you're showing yourself very kind of non-confidence, or you are showing yourself dull. No, you should be polite, but you should have a confidence also. Okay. That can be seen. As walk-in interviews take place without any prior appointment, it's very likely that several candidates will appear for the interview at the same time. Be patient. Be patient, as chance you are might to have wait for your turn. Okay. Most importantly, be polite to fellow candidates. Smile and have patience while waiting for your call. You can also read a book or just sit quietly while waiting for your turn. Okay. So be on time. Generally, it is best to head for the walk-in interviews during the first hour of the mentioned time slot. And during the initial hours, there might be fewer candidates at the venue, and the interviewer might also be fresh. What happens in early slot? What you can do is the interviewer can be fresh, and there can be less number of candidates in early timings of the interview. So, for example, there is given time of 9 a.m. So you should try to reach there by 8:50, not more before that also. Then ideally, it is expected from a candidate that he should reach the venue before 15 minutes of the scheduled time of the interview. Okay. So be on time. Communicate well. Practice explaining your resume, since the interviewer might spend most of the time discussing it. Okay. Be sure to speak with confidence and sound convincing. What you should do, you should be quite confidence and sound while convincing the interviewer. Here, communication skills always plays really vital role in your selection. I'm not talking about communication skills in English only. It's good if you have good communication skills in English language particularly. But it's all about language. It's not about language. Communication skills means how good we can deliver our message to the other person to whom we are communicating in any of the language. And there are so many language shops that does not require English communication at all. So it's communication skill is all about how you can make how you can make other people understand what you are trying to convey. Okay. So if English is not your first language, take help from applications like for English you can take help from English speaking practice, English basic, interview English, or English interviews. Okay. Body language and posture. Your body language speaks volume about you. Be confident in your own skin. What you should do, you should be quite confident in your own skin. Sit comfortably, smile, and make eye contact with the interviewer. While in waiting area, look active and aware. What you should do, you should look quite active and aware. Do not hunch or lazy around. Okay. And have a look at these body languages, don't and don'ts, to know more. Thanks the interviewer. When at the last, what you should do, you should, say thanks to the interviewer. So before leaving the interview room, thank the interviewer for his time. Be polite and let him know it was pleasure meeting him. Walk-in interviews are great for practicing your interview and communication skills. Just be organized and well prepared. We are sure that you will land your desired job super soon. Okay. Thank you so much with this. So I'll to wind up, let's have a quick go through to all the points what we learned. First of all, what you should do is you should learn about the company, what exactly company do, what are the things that company is doing, what about the company, what are the company's products and services, and most important, you should know about the things what are required to be done by you, or the job description you should learn about. Common interview questions, you should prepare some of the common interview questions, like tell me about yourself, why you want to leave your current job, why you shift so much early from your previous jobs, why you are looking for a salary hike, why are you looking for this location, how you will manage to commute from your place to here to our company. These are some general questions that you should prepare. And most important, for the technical questions, you can prepare according to the job description, whatever is mentioned over there in the job description. You can take help, or you can prepare yourself accordingly. Resume, you should learn about resume. You should learn about your resume. You should know each and everything whatever you have written in your resume, and try to keep only all those things in your resume whatever you are good at. Do not mention anything vague. Do not mention anything to show off in your resume. Okay. Important documents and identity proof. Keep all your professional documents, that is your experience and appointment letters, with you while going for a walk-in interview. Keep all of your educational certificates with you. Keep one of your government identity certificates, so that while entering any company, it would be required. Sometimes it is required and sometimes it is not, but you should think that it will be required too. Address and directions. Come to know about the address and directions where you are going for the interview, so that you can have an good idea that about the transportation facilities, public transportation. And if you are taking your own vehicle, in that case you can come to know that how much time it will take. For that you can take help of Google Maps nowadays. Look presentable. You should look presentable. Presentation look is always required in any of the interview, be it walk-in or be it scheduled interview. Okay. Be polite and have patience. Be polite while interviewing, or while answering your questions, or while interaction with the interviewer, and also have patience, because it's a walk-in interview. In that case, maybe there are so many candidates already there for the interview, then it would take a lot of time to come to your turn for the interview. Okay. Be on time. Always be on time. If you will be on time, then definitely for example, if you reach there in early hours of starting of the interview, then in that case you can find the interviewer with the fresh mind, and you will have right time, or you can reach early there. At that time, maybe there are less number of candidates, so your turn would come early and you can wind up with your interview early. Communicate well. Yeah, communication is most important, so always communicate well, so that the person to whom you are discussing can understand what you are trying to say or communicate. Body language. Use your body language, because body language plays very vital role while communicating to someone. And use right postures. Okay. Thank the interviewer. At the last, what you need to do is you need to thank the interviewer for the time he has given to interview you, and you can ask him to look for a positive response. Yeah. Thanks. With this, thanks to everyone. Have a good day. Do you have some questions to me to ask? Anyone?
Sir, please share the PPT.
Sorry?
Sir, please share the PPT, sir.
Share the PPT. Okay. I'll do it. You just ping me on WhatsApp. I'll share it. Okay. Thank you.